a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, again should we unite in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love. We come together. 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 In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity of Springfield. We're going to get our service started off today, well, with a song that has the word start in it. I Start My Day. It's number 18 in the Blue Book.
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. When I start my day with love, when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace.
Jay and Alyssa for getting us started here. Well, we have lit this Christ candle as a part of our connection to the greater unity movement, and we connect and hold individual ministries in prayer every week. This week we hold all the ministries in the state of Utah in prayer. And let us especially hold, in addition to Utah, the state of Minnesota and the tragedy that's unfolded there. And we expand our heart of prayer to include our greater world, this planet Earth upon which we live. And we affirm for everyone divine order everywhere. Thank you, God. Amen. Now I'd like to invite our platform person up here, Shelley Coffin. Come on down.
Good morning. What a great night last night at the art fair, or art show. Alyssa, you were amazing. Welcome. We are so glad you are here. We extend a special welcome to those of you visiting today for the first time. On your way in today, you should have received a welcome packet. We also have a gift for you. Please see one of our greeters after today's service. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement. We are an inclusive community, and we welcome all people. Our announcements for this week. Join us next week, June 22nd, as our guest speaker, Peggy Tell, LUT, delivers the Sunday message. And the following Sunday, June 29th, Karen Kelly, LUT, will be guest speaking. Reiki treatments will be offered after the service in the chat room. Use the sign-up sheet located in the foyer and ask any one of our Reiki practitioners wearing an orange lanyard to receive a free 12 to 15-minute treatment. If you are number 1 and number 2 on the sign-up sheet, go to the chat room. After the service to be...
Shelley, I don't think there's anybody here to do Reiki.
Oh, okay, so there's no Reiki today, I'm sorry. The 9 a.m. Spiritually Speaking class on Sundays is currently studying The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Everyone is welcome to attend. Books are available from the bookstore. Wednesday at 5:30 p.m., Karen Kelly will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for quiet, introspective meditation. You are invited to participate in the monthly drumming circle with Dave Tell on Thursday, June 19th at 6 p.m., held in Margaret Kane Hall. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on current happenings and how to join in events. To sign up for our emails, ask a greeter for a yellow card to fill out or visit our website to subscribe. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at unityofspringfieldil.org. We would like to give special thanks to Doug Brackney for coordinating and installing the newest Unity Art Show. And thank you to all who contributed to the success of our opening reception yesterday evening. He did a great job. We have some beautiful art on the walls. Creating our lives and our world through the thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind is a spiritual principle we practice at Unity of Springfield. We also know this truth. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. Our vision statement: a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement: we recognize God as love, individualized in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. Our youth and family ministry affirmation: our youth and family ministry empowers the next generation with loving kindness and acceptance, creating a safe, sacred space for children, teens, young adults to explore, discover, and experience spirituality. And Linda Cantor will read today's daily word.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sunday, June 15th, 2025, and the words for today are Father's love. I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. A father's love is like no other. It gives me the warm feeling of protection and gentle guidance and inspires me to live up to its example. Father's love takes many forms. It might mean helping with homework, coaching sports, and teaching of all kinds. It might mean the wise counsel and loving guidance that prepares children to be self-sufficient and ready for the freedom and responsibilities of adulthood. A father's love may come from many earthly sources. No matter who showed me this love, its origin was divine. God is at the heart of all fathers' love. I pray that all fathers and father figures feel the appreciation of those they teach, love, and protect. May they know the love of God as they have brought it into the world. And from Isaiah chapter 38, verse 19, fathers, make known to children your faithfulness. Again, our words for today are Father's love, and if you'll join me in the affirmation, I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. Before we hear today's meditation and message from Reverend Alden, let's sing Silence is Refreshing, page 35 of our Blue Songbook.
Silence is refreshing anytime throughout the day. Silence holds wisdom to guide us on our way. Silence is teeming with possibilities.
I'd like to thank everybody who makes our service possible, especially our music staff, Tigay and Alyssa, who so beautifully lead our congregational singing and so many other things. And to our platform people today, we've got Shelley and Linda. Thank you much. Back in the booth today, we have a team of Studebakers, Donna and Danny. And happy birthday, Danny. Mhm. And to Ruth, who's our greeter today, and special blessings to Chris Farashon, our administrative director. I call her the administrative director because, let's face it, she's running the church from Cincinnati. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to everybody who's watching us on YouTube and Facebook. And I agree, the art show last night was a lot of fun. And if you weren't there for it, you can still experience the art, which is in Margaret Kane Hall with all of our, we'll be there in about 40 minutes or so, or maybe quicker if I get on with this talk. So, well, let's take a moment to go into meditation. And what a perfect song about the silence. And entering the silence, entering a place of serenity and tranquility. And so let's begin that process by simply closing our eyes. And with that simple act of our eyelids, we say to our consciousness and our hearts that we're here now to open our awareness to the flow of love, the flow of spirit. And with each breath that we take, breathing in gently and fully and releasing the breath, we relax into an inner space, an inner consciousness of tranquility, serenity, and peace. Breathe in, breathe out. And through this process of inner focus, this process of inner reflection and meditation, we can become aware of the flow of ideas, of thoughts, and of emotions and feelings within us. Most of the time, we're simply in those to the extent that we almost think we are them. And in meditation, we're able to observe the flow of these realities, these creations of the mind. And when we're able to find that place within us that is serene and calm, we can see the flow of our ideas and feelings and emotions with greater objectivity. And from that perch above the valley floor of all of these ideas and movement of emotions, we're able to see how we can make course corrections and how we think and feel and respond to the events, to the experiences of our lives. We realize that in truth, we are not victims of circumstance. We are co-creators with the infinite Spirit of God. And when we align ourselves with this truth, we're able to co-create with the flow of divine energy and love and spirit the life that we want to live, a life of joy, of love, of peace, of inspiration, compassion, a life of creativity and blessing and abundance. And so we wrap our hearts around this truth. We see what we need to do to move us in the direction that we are led to go. And we realize that everybody has this same ability, has their own calling, has their own directions. And from this place of inner peace and serenity, we learn to be okay with that, to live and let live, and to be supportive of the dreams and goals and aspirations of others. And we expand this experience of spiritual observation and objectivity to include our greater world. And yes, we do observe all kinds of creations, ones that don't serve the highest good. We see these running their course and fizzling out, and the energy from them being recreated into something better. And so we bask in the light and the radiance of Spirit. And accept the good that is unfolding. Let us do so now for a moment in the silence. From the stillness of our hearts, from the calmness of our consciousness, and from the infusion of Spirit into our hearts, we come forth from this time of meditation with a renewed sense of who we are as a spiritual being having a human experience, and filled with a sense of confidence and positive expectation for our futures and the futures of others. And we give thanks for this opportunity we've had to be here in this place or wherever we're experiencing this service right now, to give thanks for this time of meditation. And we do so in the name and through the power of the living Christ presence within us all. And so it is. Amen. Well, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. And we all benefited from fathers, or fathers showed up for us as we needed them along the way. And I think that this dog here is one that's going to help us understand the subject for today. Divine order all over the place. How could it relate to this particular scene? And what do you do if you discover your dog or your pet? I can't imagine my cat actually doing this. He does other things. But I want to share a little bit about my dad with some of you. I've mentioned him before, and I put this slide up before. This is my father and me many years ago. And one of his favorite sayings was, divine order all over the place. He said it a lot. So let me tell you a little bit about my dad. Okay? His full name was Alden Henry, and they sometimes even added the other middle name, Charles. I don't know what the double middle name meant. Studebaker Sr. Senior. He was always called Henry or Hank. He was never called Alden. That was his dad's name, my grandfather. His first name was Alden. And apparently when they were looking to name my grandfather, the story goes, they were looking for a name that had never been in the family, and they succeeded. Because it's a very unusual name. After 68 years, I'm still trying to get used to it. You know, there are times you wish you were named Steve or Dave or something like that. And what's your name? Alden. Is it Alden or is it, anyway? You know? But my father never had that problem. He was always Henry or Hank, whichever one you preferred. Nobody ever called him Alden. I want to share a little bit about where he grew up. This is the house that my father was born in, along with his brother Arthur, born here, and their mother, my grandmother Naomi, lived her entire adult life in this house. My grandfather, the one who was first named Alden, was the contractor for this small town on the shore of Lake Michigan called Dune Acres. I don't think anybody here has ever been to Dune Acres, because to get into Dune Acres, you have to face a gate with a marshal. Yeah. I lived in a gated community. I can't believe I did, but I did. It was a gated community. I came from Florida, where almost everybody seems to live in a gated community. I didn't live in one in Florida, but I did live in one as a little kid. Well, my grandfather was the contractor and superintendent of roads, which in those days weren't all paved. And he built all kinds of houses in this town. And if you get into this town and drive around and look at the older houses, he built those. And he built this house here. And he built it in 1926. And he did it in a couple of stages. It didn't start out at the full size it was. I think it was about 600 square feet, and it jumped up to 900 square feet later. You can see this is the Zillow for it as of a few days ago. It's listed at 904 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. You could call it a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but it is a tiny little house. And all the stories my dad talked about growing up there when their Uncle Joe was taken out of an Army veterans home somewhere in Illinois to come live with them during the Depression because he had a Civil War pension. Got the family through the Depression. Oh gosh, the stories. I don't have time for them, sorry. But if my grandfather knew that this house that he built, this little bungalow, 900 square feet today, would be valued at $438,000. Holy smokes. What you might find surprising about my father, especially with this statement, divine order all over the place, is that he was not a particularly religious person. He was a mechanical engineer. He got his engineering degree from Purdue. He also had an MBA from the University of Chicago. He was a member of Mensa. Whew, yeah. He had a lot going on up here. Yeah. He was a mental titan compared with me. They even had me take the test one time. Yeah, my IQ was just a little below the Mensa level. I guess that's okay, right? Yeah. Let me show you another side of this house here. You see that stairwell going up to the back side of the house there? Well, my grandfather built that back in the 20s. And he built it out of chunks of granite, rock. And I remember having to walk up and down those very uneven stairs as a kid. And you had to really pay attention to where you put your feet. And because they were very irregular rocks. And over time, they got even more irregular. And it was very hard to walk up and down those stairs. If you need a second opinion, just talk to Donna. She'll tell you. Well, one of the nearby houses in the neighborhood was demolished. They took the house down and built a new one. Of course, it's sitting right on Lake Michigan. The house was okay, but somebody had some money. And they started, tearing it apart and dumping everything there to be hauled away. And my father and his brother noticed there were these large slabs of concrete that were just laying there, going to be hauled away. And so they decided to appropriate them for the rebuild of this stairwell. There's my dad up there. Yeah, remember, this is a hillside. This is a dune. This is like sand dunes with trees on it. So there you go. Mm-hmm. So he took a bunch of garbage and waved his magic Purdue engineering degree wand over it and declared divine order all over the place. And let me tell you, you put a level on those stairs straight across. No tripping, no nothing. A broken down stairwell became a stairway to heaven. And for your information, you see where his foot is standing at the top of the stairs? That's where he made his transition. I kid you not. When they found him, he was right there at the top of the stairs, ready to go back to his second wife, Marion, who lived in Valparaiso. My dad would spend time there on the weekends and go home on the weekdays. And that's where he was found. What is divine order? What does it mean when we say divine order? It's a very common phrase in Unity. We don't really hear it much in other places. And it kind of means when you need a little extra something, a little spiritual influence, a little infusion of positivity. Hey, let's get a little bit of divine order working over here. How many of you have seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? You like it? I know, isn't it a great movie? Oh, yeah. John Candy, Steve Martin end up trying to get home and stranded in the Midwest in the winter. Oh, you can just start thinking of some of the scenes from that movie. It's hilarious. And it's a great message movie, too, about tolerance and love and understanding. Have you ever had such a trip like this? Ever? Anybody? Well, let me tell you about one. You see, it was a Friday afternoon, June 26, 1998. And Nathan and I boarded a Northwest Airlines flight. You remember Northwest Airlines? Mm-hmm. From Portland to Minneapolis. By the way, Nathan is Danny's brother. And this is Nathan being eaten by a dinosaur. And we had been to Portland for a Unity convention. And he went with me. We stayed also in a room with a colleague of ours, a friend of ours, who was from Bloomington, Indiana. We just said we could share expenses, keep the costs down for our churches so we could go to this convention. And we also did some other visiting in the area. I went up to Seattle, did some guest speaking there at the church of somebody you heard speak recently, yes, 1998. We went up into Canada to this museum, and if you're into dinosaurs, this is the best museum in the world. I know the Field Museum's good, the British Museum of Natural Sciences is good. This is the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology in Drumheller, Alberta, where they actually find the dinosaurs in the ground. It's a very cool place. So I just thought this would be an appropriate photo to show you who Nathan is. So we've been up there. And so we got our flight to Minneapolis, where we're going to make a connecting flight to Indianapolis. Now, we lived in the Cincinnati area, but a lot of people fly out of other airports near Cincinnati because for some reason the fares into Cincinnati are always way up there. I don't know what it is about Cincinnati, but that's how it is. So Donna was going to come up to Indianapolis to pick us up with our other kids, and Jennifer and Danny. And there it is around midnight. And then we were going to either stay in a hotel or drive home. It's about an hour and a half drive from Indianapolis to where we lived in the southeast part of Indiana, near Cincinnati. And of course, Nathan was lobbying me to kind of stay in a hotel. I'm like, oh, do we really need to stay in a hotel after the last 2 weeks of staying in hotels? But anyway. So as we approached Minneapolis, the pilot comes on the intercom and says, there are thunderstorms ahead. We're going to circle for a while, see if they go away. And so we began circling the area for a while. And then we started to get low on fuel. And he said, we're going to go to Omaha. We're like, okay, I mean, what are we going to do? We're in our seats strapped in. So we go to Omaha, and the sun was just going down. And we sat on the taxiway for an hour and a half in Omaha. And finally, they opened the gates. They told us the Minneapolis airport had been shut down. Our flight was canceled. Take your belongings, get off the plane, period. Have a nice day. Well, the line in front of the northwest counter was a mile long. Maybe not a mile, but it was long. And after a while, they came on the PA system and said, call the 800 number to reschedule your flight somewhere. Now, keep in mind, this is getting into the late in the evening. It's like, very late. And so there's a scramble to the phones. Now, we're not talking about phones that look like this. This is 1998. How many of you had a mobile phone in 1998? Everybody, yeah, that's what I thought. No, we're on pay phones. And we're calling Northwest Airlines, who are right there, and hitting redial, I guess you could redial on a pay phone. I don't remember if you could or not. And I managed to get through. And I got a flight at 1 p.m. from Omaha, eventually back to Indianapolis. But too late to get back in time for a wedding I had at noon. I went down to the baggage claim to see if our bag was there. No bags. And then we went to those boards they have with the hotels, with the phones. There was no room at the inn. So there's three of us stranded travelers. We're kind of standing there, and we got out the white pages. Remember those? We started looking through the book at other hotels. And one of the people found 3 rooms at a hotel, and they had a shuttle. We all went to this hotel. But it wasn't in Nebraska. It was in Iowa. not far away. And I called home and left a message of what was going on. And Nathan got to bed around 2. I don't think I went to bed. And around 3 o'clock, Donna calls from home and tells her story. And she said, went to Indianapolis, talked to the people there. You have a flight leaving out of Omaha at 6:25 in the morning. No more sleep. 5:30 shuttle to the Omaha airport, mile-long lines, but we got a flight. To where? Memphis. Whew. And not just a flight, a first-class seat. Oh. And they came up and said, may I get you a drink, sir? I'm like, well, yes, I'll have champagne. No, orange juice is fine. It's too early in the morning. And so we got to Memphis, and there was our connecting flight to not Indianapolis, Cincinnati. You know, on one of those Wright Brothers airplanes, you know the kind. Yeah. And we got back in time for me to rush to the church and do the noon wedding. I can't remember what happened. When I got that wedding done, I probably went up to my office and fell asleep. You might wonder, how is this divine order all over the place? I mean, really. Well, if we take the divine order all over the place consciousness here and look at this situation, first thing is we avoided dangerous weather in Minneapolis. Thunderstorms, the potential for tornadoes. What else was divine order? Well, Omaha, and this hotel in Iowa, became a safe haven for everybody to take a nap, to regroup. And what we noticed about most of the passengers, I remember this, is how everybody was just sort of understanding that there was really nothing that could be done. There wasn't a lot of grumbling too much or resentment toward the airline or whatever. And what happened is that the airline, even though they appeared to just sort of abandon us in Omaha, stranded in Omaha, what do I do? You can see the headlines. Yeah. They came through. Got to fly first class. How many of you fly first class all the time? Have you ever flown first class once? Everybody's like that on once, maybe, or business class. They call it business class. Got to do that. Got to fly into Cincinnati, not Indianapolis. Indianapolis is it's about a 95-mile drive from our house. The Cincinnati airport was right across the river in Kentucky. What is it, 20 miles? Something like that. Got to fly right into Cincinnati. Got to officiate at a wedding and made a couple happy. As my father says, divine order all over the place. The trick is in noticing it, beholding it, appreciating it, because it's there if we're able to see it. And we're only able to see it if we're able to see it in our minds, in our hearts. This could have been a bummer of a situation, and it wasn't, because there was enough of a sense of a blessing coming from this for it to happen. Now, this coming Wednesday, everybody's going to ask me where we're going on vacation, and that's been kind of up and down, but we will be flying from Peoria to Las Vegas, renting a car, and driving into California. And what I'm doing, and this is the first time Donna's heard this, is I'm declaring divine order all over the place in advance. We can do that. We can do it in advance. It doesn't have to be something that already happened. Divine order is always the go-to prayer or affirmation. When you're not sure where to sort of aim the divine order, just go all over the place. Just say, everywhere. You ain't going to hurt anybody by being touched by your prayer of divine order. It's a universal blessing. It's a universal affirmation. It's a universal prayer. And it works regardless of somebody's religious affiliation or none. It works in advance of upcoming situations and experiences. It works in the aftermath of one that we've already had. Divine order all over the place works because of the energy behind it. And it works in all kinds of situations, especially the sticky ones of relationships, and even the more difficult and intricate ones of engineering. I know why my father probably said this phrase. By the way, he got the divine order from going and attending Unity churches. But the all over the place probably came from his work in engineering. That's my father, standing in front of a gigantic boiler in Western Australia. My father was the expert boiler person for the United States Navy up until his retirement at age 80. He was not forced out. He was the oldest employee in the United States Navy. When he'd go to meetings with admirals, they would do this. He was like the chairman of the board showing up. He was the old man of the sea. Do you have any idea how the quality or lack of quality of water getting inside one of these can cause damage and problems for a boiler system? You think boiler, that sounds really boring, but hey, when it isn't working, yeah. And he used to tell me all kinds of stories about these situations he'd find himself in. So to deal with complex and difficult issues, like mechanical things, yeah, divine order all over the place helps. What's an appropriate scripture for divine order? There are a lot of them. But let's consider this one here. This comes from the book of 1 Peter, 3rd chapter, and it reads, "Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called so that you may inherit a blessing." For divine order all over the place to really happen, this needs to be the motivating energy behind it. We can't declare divine order except withhold it from so-and-so. I don't want that person to get this. It doesn't work that way. It can't work that way because divine order means the highest and best and perfect outcome for all. It's not a zero-sum principle concept where there are winners and losers. Everybody benefits in some way. Now, right now, there are a lot of situations going on all over the world right now, all over the place, as my dad would say. You know, just past week, stuff in LA, Washington, D.C., Israel attacked Iran, Israel, Hamas, and Gaza. That is a situation. The one that's been going on for over 3 years, Russia invading Ukraine. Ow. Sorry. Donna told me to move this candle up here, and I told her I can't do that because if I do, then it's hard to see the screen, if you're just wondering why it's back here, and I will continue to hit it. Well, not always, but sometimes. But you know, we got situations all over. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup, Edmonton or Florida? That's supposed to be a joke, anyway. It can feel a bit overwhelming. I think this is from an old musical, Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but that's when we need to invoke this prayer. Divine order all over the face. Now, I must say, what I really love about my new adopted hometown, Springfield. And I consider this my hometown. I feel like I've moved back home to where I'm from. And you're looking at me like, you're not from here. And I tell people, I said, yeah, but I was born 4 miles from the Illinois state line. This is, I think, the closest I've ever served in the ministry to where I was born. So that counts. And one of the things I love about here, it's not the horseshoe, I'm sorry, is how Springfield celebrates Flag Day. Awesome, the way we celebrate Flag Day. I always wanted to celebrate Flag Day, but never really did it up right. You know, go Betsy Ross. Yeah, it's cool. Here's Betsy. Heavens to Betsy. There we go. The whole, by the way, if you look up Betsy Ross, you find out it's a little bit of mythology about her. But we make mythology and then it becomes history, right? But we have Betsy Ross here with the flag. And so yesterday, I went down to the Capitol to celebrate Flag Day. And I made my own, where is it? Here it is. I made my own sign to celebrate Flag Day. You all see that fine? If you can't see the screen, and for those of you watching online right now, it says, "Happy Birthday, the American Flag." And the American flag was adopted on June the 14th, 1777. And so that's what I put on my sign. There it is. I'll just put it here for now. It's homemade, by the way. I didn't order this online or anything. So I'm down there with all the other Flag Day revelers, having a great time. I saw people I knew, which is cool. You know, I'm not really from here, but when I see somebody who is from here that I know, that was great. And there was divine order pouring out all over the place in abundance. I mean, tons of that. And there more people kept coming with their homemade signs too. But I got to tell you guys, I like my sign the best. And I dressed up a little bit like I did a couple Sundays ago with the fedora. And I had this Blues Brothers t-shirt. Yeah, this is fun. And then there was this one guy, we're standing on the grassy part. You know, it's easier to stand a long time on grass than concrete. That's what Donna told me, so that's why we moved to the grass. And there's this guy here with his 10-year-old daughter, and his name is Adam. And I walked up to him, I said, "Adam," or hello, and we introduced ourselves. I said, "I really like your sign." And what I liked about his sign is that it was in Spanish. We're not talking academic Spanish either, because I knew what the words meant, even though I'm not fluent in Spanish. And that was awesome, to hang out with this guy and to find out that he was a native of Springfield. And I thanked him for letting me immigrate here from Florida. And I told him I would get to the building and get my resident alien status all set with the state of Illinois. And he told me he worked for the state of Illinois, and I go, "Yeah, I'll get it in right away." Okay. I had fun on Flag Day. Best time. I pray that if you're traveling this summer, that your travel experiences were as good as Nathan's and mine's were in 1998. Now you might be thinking, really? That's a little strange. But if they're uneventful and easy and as scheduled, that's great. But if they're kind of like ours were, if they were kind of planes, trains, and automobiles, think of that as being great as well. Divine order. Because you start to experience your own blessings. We do. When we allow Spirit to kind of take over, to let divine order be all over the place, regardless of whatever the circumstances are. And there are all kinds of, we would call challenging experiences that people are going through right now. I know because I hear from you. And if you find yourself in one of those right now, in the midst of a challenge, or you have family members who are going through a rough time. Declare divine order all over the place, and especially in those situations. Just send that prayer out, number one, because that will help all of us, yourself and everybody in the situation, to calm down, to become still, to start seeing the blessing, because it'll carry us through. And we will be amazed at the divine order that starts to show up in our lives and in the world. Now, I want to share a song right now. I practiced it last night at the art show. We all know about Brian Wilson passing away from the Beach Boys. What an incredible musical person he was and still is, just not in his physical body right now. So I want to share a song that I think you'll find helpful in understanding divine order and finding that special place within that we can go. So I'm going to move over here. And the song is called In My Room. Sing along if you'd like. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to, in my room. In my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room. In my room. In my room. To my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Now it's dark and I'm alone, but I won't be afraid. In my room. 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 We're going to do a little singing of our own as we turn to number 20 in the Blue Book. I'm going to walk in the Spirit, number 20. Thank you, Gay and Alyssa. Well, we prepare now for a time of giving and receiving, and are appreciative of all the good that is coming to this ministry to help it fulfill its mission and vision in our community. And so if you came here today with a gift to share, we have bowls in the front, in the back of the church to receive that gift physically. If you'd like to donate electronically, you can go to our website, unityofspringfieldil.org. If you're watching online, there should be a link coming up on your screen. You can also text to give, 217-335-4121, or mail a check to 417 East Cordelia, Springfield, Illinois, 62703. And now let's join together with our offering blessing. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Amen. Hi. And now let's pray together the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let us rise, do the best circle we can as we sing, "Let there be peace on earth."